Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Myrita Minutes. I'm Myrita. Before I get started, I'd like to say that everything on my channel is alleged and, in my opinion, and done for entertainment purposes only. If you are new here, welcome. To all my new subscribers, thank you for joining me on my venture here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get into it. First, I want to say this Martell interview was a complete joke. It was awful. I think part of the problem, before we even saw it, it was so hyped up. Like he was going to come out with all this disastrous stuff about Melody. I even think Tasha knew that this interview was trash. She tried to salvage it. Okay. And I'm sure when they went into the edit room, they tried to put together the content to at least give her a lot of clicks and views. She knew people were going to be tuning in, so she had to give them something. But you could tell during the duration of the whole entire interview, she was even fed up. I mean, she even sounded fake most of the time. She was gassing him up, blowing smoke up his behind. Oh, Martell, praising him because she knew she had to do that in order to get him to talk. She tried to get him to drink his wine. First of all, I don't think Martell is really a drinker. Obviously, he does partake in, glasses of wine at times or whatever. But I don't think, because he's such a health nut, supposedly, and works out and everything, I don't think he drinks like that. So I didn't have him drinking and then especially getting loose with the tongue, because I don't know if he was guarded and that's why he wasn't really saying a whole bunch of stuff, or what we were seeing were different takes from parts of the video that they had edited, because I know she had mentioned that several times when he tried to get up and leave. So he wasn't feeling the way that evidently the interview was going. Tasha was being pretty shady. First of all, she was trying to get him to talk about Mel, tried to get him to talk about his real feelings about Mel, because bottom line, he is mad with her, true, but he still has a great deal of love for her. They got 4 kids, but they're at a place right now where it's like he just wants vengeance. I believe Melody still has something for him, maybe not on the same level, but I mean, how could you? I mean, you've been with someone for over a certain amount of years. First of all, that stuff doesn't go away. Second, she was throwing a lot of shade towards Ariane. She wasn't putting Melody and Ariane on the same level. I felt that. First, she wanted to talk about how beautiful Mel was and what did you see in her when you met her. And he basically shut it down. Like, we're not here to talk about anything positive about Mel, because he probably had already been given his marching orders. How dare you sit up there and promote Mel, and this is what we're going through. And plus, he wanted to up Ariane. That was his goal, to down Mel and to up Ariane and to get her on their show, which I don't think is going to happen, at least not while Mel is still living and breathing. Let's put it that way. But that was his goal, right? And Tasha kept saying, well, we were trying to get to know you. You try to, shape it to like, well, we're just trying to get your background. We're trying to get to know you. We're trying to humanize you. I mean, she was really working it, but she was phony as a $2 bill. And she can't be phony with someone like Martell, because that's who he is. Game recognizes game. So I can understand him being a little bit guarded. And also, I don't think he's very articulate. I mean, as far as expressing himself, he even admitted to that himself on one of the episodes. That's why they always put Melody out front. She was this public speaker. She's very good at it, and she's very dynamic. Where he said, oh, he was always in the background because he was the doer. He was the, one doing not all the work, but I guess the physical stuff. She was, the face of their business. She could, put on the charisma and, do all the talking and public speaking. That wasn't his niche. So I think we were seeing a little bit of both. the fact that he was guarded and he didn't want to say too much to give Tasha some clicks and views. And he didn't want, and then again, I guess, like I said, the latter, he just didn't know how to articulate it properly. Plus, I think Melody has a team around her, to help guide and shape her PR, what next steps to take, even when something dirty comes her way, such as this. I don't know if Martell is set up the same way Melody is. I mean, I know he supposedly has a publicist, but I don't really know, because if he does have a team and they made this decision for him to go out here on Tasha K to do this didn't do him any favors. It just made us see who we already knew he was. And this was like a waste. This was a waste of time. I remember looking at the video as it was going on. I'm like, this is really boring. This is really boring. Now, I didn't see the $12 version because I'm not subscribed to her website. I did see what the content that they edited and put on YouTube, but from what I gathered, what was on that side was just the video footage, and I did see some of the video footage too. I can't remember what I was watching when I saw it. It must have been on Instagram, where they saw Melly coming at him with something in her hand, like she was going to beat him with it or whatever. And then she was throwing something. They said it was lighter fluid, throwing it around or whatever. I don't know. But I also know that those were probably reaction videos to something that he had done. You didn't see what happened prior to her acting like that. I can't imagine she, out of the blue, just all of a sudden started coming at him with a bat just because. Come on, ladies. Maybe you don't know. I know for personal experiences that when you're in a relationship, and especially when I was in my 20s, I was a firecracker. I wasn't abusive. I don't think I was abusive. But if I had to defend myself or I was reacting to something, I would fly off the handle in 2.60 seconds. Didn't take long. And at 20 years old or 25 years old, you're not thinking about when you're 35 years old how that looks if it ever was to come back up. You know what I mean? It's just like, when you're young and you're in a situation, you don't think about 10 years down the road. Like, how is it going to, I shouldn't do this because, I might have kids then, or, what if happens if, this is caught and somebody sees me, or what if this is in the paper or whatever. You don't think like that. You're in the moment, right? So again, I'm not saying that Melody is totally innocent of this stuff. This is their relationship, and it's just being put out on Front Street for all of us to view and critique it, which is really none of our business. But they want to put it out there, so this is what you signed up for. However, I don't think Melody is perfect, and I damn sure know Martell ain't perfect. But guess what? It's always three sides to a story. Now, my thing is, I think why most people have gravitated to Melody, not because they think she's 100% right, is because Martell stepped out and had been stepping out for the longest, according to them. Now, all of a sudden, he wants to change that narrative like she was cheating all along. But I don't know. Way before she even caught on to him cheating, right? And then is still dealing with the same person today and has a baby. So it's a little different dynamic. So yeah, I think that's why most women have clinged on to Melody, because they can, I guess relate to her story somewhat. I've never had that go on in a relationship for me, but cheating has happened in my relationship and I have been cheated on, not the cheater. So I can resonate with that. Well, most people can, I guess. And men too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just, picking up women. But yes, Tasha K was being real shady towards Ariane. First, she said she went in on her about the 2-parent household. she said, shout out to Ariana, you know, the two-parent household. She tried to make it seem like this is the woman that you want to big up, but I'm getting ready to tell you everything that everybody's been talking about. She didn't know what that was about. Two-parent household. It was your side B. And he corrected her, said, no, she's never been that. She's been my woman. So he wanted to make sure that she showed her respect going forward throughout the rest of the interview. But Tasha was bringing it. Her thing was, she wasn't trying to go there about Ariana. She was trying to make it seem like she was trying to get him to talk about Melody. But once she saw that that wasn't really working, then she switched it over. So, okay, well, since you want to big up Ariana, well, what do you love about Ariana? Then he got dumbfounded. Then he really got dumb because this was your woman at first, but now she's your friend, and now you want to discount all the other years that y'all had together because in these last 3 or these last couple of years, y'all just trying to get to know each other. Now y'all got a whole baby, but now y'all got to try to get to know each other. I mean, they late and a dollar short. So, Tasha flipped the script on him. Said, okay, well, we'll talk about Melly. Let's talk about Ariana. And he had nothing to say. She said, well, you're going to marry? I mean, you have been with her for 10 years. I mean, she was really throwing the shade. She was playing all in Martell's face. And I don't know if he was catching it or not. But I was like, she's really playing him. And her laugh was phony and fake. But she had to do what she had to do to get him to talk, to feel comfortable, she got enough, I guess, out of him to get some clicks and views. But it was not a good interview at all. And like I said, this did him no favors at all. I feel like, she didn't even like his wine because I was watching her. She was sipping it. Tasha, when she's usually in front of the camera, she has that big, gigantic wine glass in front of her. She'll pour in something I guess that she likes or knows she's tasted before. Maybe not even tasted before, but she will drink it. She wasn't really drinking his wine. Ain't nothing but Sutter Home anyway, right? Allegedly. I don't know. But she was like sipping it. I don't even recall her really filling her glass up, but maybe once. Maybe. I don't know. Did she ever drink the whole? Because he even noticed. He said, well, you're not drinking. And she was like, well, I got to get my stuff out. He said, and then once we get, enough content, then I'll lay back. But that never happened, I don't think. I don't recall. Because she couldn't get nothing out of him. It was like pulling teeth. Yeah, this wasn't good. This was not a good look. She even tried to bring up the fact that he called Ariana a peasant. Before she could even say the word, he was like, no. He shut it down. I think the reason why he was leaving is because Tasha was coming for Ariana. And he basically said, I'm not here to talk about anything positive about Melody. First of all, he came off like he was bitter and he was mad. He had just let us know that he had been locked up. So this was the same week where he got locked up for his DV, communication harassment charge. And then he also told us that he wasn't filming. So was he not filming because of the arrest, or it is not time, or he's not up for a scene yet, or whatever? I can't really tell, but I'm assuming, and I'm going to bet my bottom dollar that he was not filming because of this. And that was the whole motivation behind getting on here with Tasha K. So the lowest point of the interview was him implying that Sugar Mama may not be his. Now, he didn't come out and say that, no, she wasn't his. All he said in response to Tasha K talking about allegedly there was something about a DNA test needing to be taken on one of the kids. And he said, my youngest, he said, no, she's my, I think he did he claim her basically, but he just says she don't have nothing, she don't look nothing like me. She don't have none of me in her. She just looks all like her mama, but also giving you the indication or implying that, even if she ain't mine, because why would you say that? Even if she ain't mine, she's still mine. type thing. First of all, the way that you are going right now, you know that Sugar Mama is yours, because if it was any inkling that she wasn't, you would put that out there, because that would mean Melody had an outside baby and y'all would be even. He would not miss the chance to indicate that Sugar Mama was an outside baby. He knows that Sugar Mama is his. And guess what? You can't have it both ways, Martell. If you're trying to imply that she's not yours, then guess what? Then you have no say on whether or not she goes on social media or the TV show, and her face will get put right back on her product that's in Melody's line for 7th Avenue for the kids. If she's not yours, then you have no say. You want to be nasty and low, trying to give us the indication that she may not be yours, even though you're claiming her anyway, just because you all for the kids, then you have no say on what happens with Sugar Mama. Then put Sugar Mama's face back on that shampoo bottle. Can't have it both ways, Martell. Stop being a butt. Oh my God, I thought that was the worst. That was the worst. But I don't know. I'm not surprised. I'm really not shocked. I'm really not shocked at Martell, because it will do anything to strike back at Mel. Mel's gone. Mel's gone, Martell. She's not coming back. So, you have yourself to blame. I don't know what you thought this was. I'm assuming you thought that she was going to continue to be in your harem and own the fact that you are a cheater and just deal with it. I don't think so. She had enough and she's moved on. And maybe, I don't know, once Ariane grows up, because I feel like she's has some delayed issues there. She talks like she's so much younger than Mel. Both her and Mel are in their 30s. So Mel ain't got that much over her, you know what I mean, as far as years. But she's nowhere near Mel as far as maturity, as far as the mindset. So once she catches up to Mel, where Mel was 10 years ago, then maybe she will move on too from you, because you're not the ideal guy. And then one more thing. I want to know, Tasha K kind of ended it like, okay, so it's you and Ariane. Y'all are a couple. Y'all are y'all are working this out. So she said, I'm not going to hear about, you being with somebody else, or we're not going to see TMZ splattering you all over the internet. He looked dumb in the face. He looked dumb, as if to say, oh, snap. So Martell will be Martell, and he's not changing for Mel, Ariane, or anybody else he chooses to date. With his hook and, what did he say he had? Curve and hook, hook and curve. With his hook and curve, which is, what is it called? A something disease, perennial disease, perennial disease, perennial. I don't know, something where that's kind of abnormal for that part to be shaped like that. It's actually some type of disease. Anyway, like I said, he might need to go get that checked. But all in all, this interview sucked. And it's unfortunate that he felt like he needed to come here and go on his platform to bash Mel, but I think it kind of backfired somewhat. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let's meet down in the comments. Tell me what you think. Have a good one. Peace.